up there. Huge block.
I'll have a strong, smooth, creamy latte.
Be your own barista at Coles Express with award-winning Coles Urban coffee culture from just $1. Express yourself at Coles Express.
Introducing the new Hyundai Kona, the ultimate expression of innovation. It takes the guesswork out of driving, boasts stunning features designed to stand out, and puts a world of technology within reach. In other words, it's seriously fun.
Course, last game proudly brought to you by Peter Stevens, MG, and thank you to the team from Peter Stevens for their continued support of the Ballarat Miners program.
Welcome back to NBL 1 action here at Selkirk Stadium. We're a few seconds away from the Ballarat Miners taking on the Ringwood Hawks in what's a pretty special night of action tonight, given it's our First official introduction to the world of KO. So welcome to all the listeners out there who I believe are getting this for free. It's been a great start to the night. I'm Kyle Evans. I'm joined by Mark Fannell. How good were the girls earlier on?
It was a solid win by the Ballarat Miners. Got up by 3 points in the end in a really tough fought game.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to solidify the Miners' women's spot in the top 8. I reckon we could see them get as high as 6 after tonight's win, given the fact they beat a pretty handy Ringwood side who are second on the ladder. Yeah,
that was only Ringwood's third loss for the season, and they were equal top with 2 other teams, and those sort of losses late in the season can really hurt. But on the flip side of that, for the Ballarat Miners, that's a really solid win that will set up the rest of their season nicely.
Well, we've got an important game tonight with the Ballarat men coming off a double header, which some mixed results last week. A pretty disappointing loss to Hobart to start off with, which I understand you called the match for.
Yeah, I was here for the game, and to be honest, yeah, they were probably just they came out a bit flat, and Hobart capitalised on that and really punished them. So that was only their 4th loss for the season. So yeah. Still sitting second on the ladder, Ballarat. Obviously, Mount Gambier are the runaway leaders at the moment in 10-1. Ballarat 8-4, sitting in second, but there is a big logjam of teams waiting just behind them. So, and one of those being Ringwood.
Well, they did rectify that on the Sunday with a win against Dandenong, I believe, but pretty lucky to get home, I understand.
Yeah, it was. They only got home by a whisker in that one. So. This match-up tonight is really important for Ballarat to really, I suppose, right the ship from last weekend, put them back on that winning page again as well, and, really try to break some daylight between them and the rest of the teams that are, there's really only a couple of games separating them from Ringwood, who are sitting in 10th currently, who's 6-5, so... a win here tonight for either team could be really important for the rest of their season.
Yeah, pretty interesting side, this Ringwood team. They've gone through a fair bit of change in the last few years. 10th on the ladder, like you said, but does mark a bit of a homecoming for one familiar face, which is Emmett Nah, who's been starting at point guard for them this season. Obviously, pretty well-decorated player. It's him there with the bit of a quirky jump shot, but... a veteran with the Illawarra Hawks and played really well for Ballarat last season.
Yeah, so, I'm not sure he'll get a great reception here from the Ballarat crowd. He might get a couple of jeers, but, you're right. Him coming back to Ballarat with this Ringwood team that's in a bit of a state of transition, looking to, sort of set up their season, makes for a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, definitely. Well, under a minute to play now. Pretty healthy crowd tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, they've come out to support their team here in Ballarat. Well, it's quite a balmy night here in Ballarat, known for its tropical type of weather this time of year. So all of the Ballarat faithful are out and about and come to see their team get a win.
So a couple of veterans here for Ringwood. We've got Snow, Fennell and Clark, a couple of familiar faces still there. But like I said before, Emmett Nah, probably the biggest name who's gonna line up for them at point guard. Just at a first glance, not the biggest looking side. The Hawks, which is I reckon where the Miners might have a bit of an advantage tonight with your JD Millers and Den Gax, who's a solid 6'9".
Yeah, look, Ringwood are coming in well undersized. They don't have that real big presence in the middle. Look, you could make a case for Sean Clark being a big presence in the middle, but he's not the tallest man out there either. So I would expect the Miners would probably be controlling the rebound stats tonight and really controlling the paint.
Well, starting for the Miners, we've got Preston Boongi, who's coming off a very solid 20-point outing. Colin Sappwell will start alongside him in the guard spot with new import JD Miller and Dengak and Nick Pozoglu rounding out the other wing. For the Ringwood Hawks, we've got Jack Roberts. Emmett Nah will start at the other guard. Tim Guers and Kyle Daggett on the wings, and Sean Clark will give it a crack at centre there against the much taller Dengak.
Yeah, I expect expect Jack to have his way, I reckon, tonight.
And the Miners, not surprisingly, coming up with the ball off the jump ball there.
Yeah, straight away looking to attack the paint.
Cohen Sapwell off the mark with his first jump shot of the night. He struggled a little bit lately, Cohen Sapwell. I think it's he's about due to have a big game. What do you reckon?
Yeah, hasn't been shooting the lights out lately, but as good an opportunity as any here against Ringwood.
We do know he can light it up. He had 33 points the other week in a Miners win. And getting the start tonight is Emmett Nah. Sorry, not Emmett Nah. That was Jack Roberts, who off the mark there on that lap. As JD Miller puts up the three and is good.
Nice start for JD Miller. Just stepped out and knocked that one down like he knew what he was doing.
Well, we know he can shoot it. We saw him light up no less a name than Jack White down in Geelong the other week with 23 points, and he really got going that night. He's one of those players that when he does get going, he lets you know about it too. Preston Boogie comes up with it in transition. Skip pass back to Sapwell, who will put up the three.
Still
backlines it there.
Yeah, look, already it looks like Ballarat's size inside's causing some troubles for Ringwood.
Yeah, a couple of good early shots for Ballarat. Probably unlucky not to be a little bit further down so far, the Hawks, as Kyle Daggett draws the foul and will go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, we've already seen Sean Clark for Ringwood trying to be nice and physical out there, make his presence known, and I suppose try to make up for a bit of that lack of height for Ringwood.
Yeah, well, that's somewhere the Miners are probably going to have to be disciplined tonight. If there's one thing that can hurt them is foul trouble.
Yep.
So
yeah.
Provided they can keep their bigs on the floor, they should be able to maintain a pretty solid advantage over the Hawks tonight as Daggett makes the first free throw. And makes short work of the second. Nick Pozzoglou taking the ball at point. Jack of all trades, Nick Pozzoglou, bit of a Swiss Army knife, but he comes up with a turnover there.
Ringwood out on the break. Oh, nice. It's a nice pass by Emmett Nah. It's
spoilt there by Sapple, though, wasn't it?
That ball went out of there.
It looked good. Probably should have gone up himself there, Emmett Nah. Maybe a little bit too unselfish. What do you think?
Yeah, look, just trying to bring his teammates into the game, I guess, but sometimes you've just got to take the role yourself and put the ball in the basket.
Here's Tim Goers here, showing off some nice handles. Finds Nah in the corner, back to Daggett, spins it back.
Good ball movement by Ringwood.
Great ball movement. And, Jack Roberts with a lovely little jump shot in the key there.
You can see why Ringwood have got themselves a few wins this season. The ball movement's good. They push the ball up the floor every chance they get. So,
for as limited as they are size-wise, you can detect a pretty good chemistry between them, can't you?
Yeah, that's right. JD Daniels. He's JD Miller. I'm thinking about Jack Daniels. JD Miller goes.
Is there
to
somewhere
work
you'd
inside.
rather be?
Well, look, maybe after the game we might slip into one, but yeah, JD Miller really going to work inside.
Yeah, no, really, Miners really looking to exploit that size advantage early, and JD Miller, he's got that footwork under the basket where he knows what to do.
Yeah, he's got really good footwork and a super athlete.
And Sean Clark is going to step to the free throw line here.
Speaking of super athletes, Sean Clark stepping up to the line. He's a physical beast. Very, very strong man, and will take a lot to handle for the Miners players. He'll give them everything they can handle and then some.
Well, described by somebody that we both know as an inspiration to dad bods everywhere.
Well, shout out to Jared Prosser, who's sitting at home watching the game.
I've seen worse dad bods, I've got to say, but I can see where he's coming from.
I'm rocking a worse one, Kyle. Got ourselves a tied ball game. 7 minutes 30 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, both teams just feeling each other out so far as Nick Pozzoglou goes to work and strong finish at the basket.
That's a grown man play.
It was. No, he's an explosive athlete, Nick Pozzoglou. He He comes up with a rebound there.
Like you said, jack of all trades. He's doing it at both ends at the moment.
Yeah, 10 points, 7 rebounds, a couple of steals on the season for Pozoglu. He's had some big games too as Preston Bungie steps into a 3, can't connect. And Emmett Nah will set up the offense here for Ringwood.
That is a deep 3. Yeah. No good.
Tim Guers, no hesitation on that one.
He must have the green light from the coach.
Easy lay in there for Cohen Sapwell. Just nobody at home there defending the basket for the Hawks.
That's how you get yourself going as a shooter.
Yeah.
So you get yourself into the paint, get some easy ones, see him go through the basket, and then work on your range later on. It's Cohen Sapwell.
And look, that's a shot that's going to be there for a lot of these minus penetrators all night. Just given Ringwood's lack of size, and you can tell early on they're pretty keen to get up and run and gun, aren't they?
Yeah. Kyle Daggett knocks one down from the corner. Shot that with confidence too, the big fella.
They look pretty sharp early on, the Hawks.
Yeah, look, they've come to play. You know, like we said at the outset, this game means a lot for both teams as far as position on the ladder goes, and I'm sure Ringwood have aspirations of playing finals.
And almost back-to-back threes there for Daggett. Pozoglu steps into one.
The Swiss Army knife does it again. he's rebounding, he's going to work in the paint, he's knocking down threes, he's doing everything. He'll paint the back porch for you if you ask him to.
5 early points for Pozoglu in what's been a pretty fun game in the opening 5 minutes so far. I reckon it's safe to say that we might be in for a bit of a high-scoring match tonight.
Yeah. Look, the shackles will probably come off at some stage during this quarter, and I reckon we might see a bit of a free-flowing game.
And I think it's something that this crowd might welcome, given the last game that we just watched as well.
Yeah, it was a bit of a arm wrestle, the women's game, so they'll be looking for some big scores, I would say.
And Emmett Nah drawing the foul there on it looks like J.D. Miller, and that's something Emmett Nah is exceptional at, I've got to say. He's got great patience with the ball at the top of the key, and he's just very good at picking and choosing his spots.
Yeah, look, he's got the ball in a string, and he handles the ball so well, and his basketball IQ is right up there as well, so he knows the times when he should be putting his head down and knows the time when to be pulling it out. But 3 early team fouls here for Ballarat, which I think, Kyle, you might have mentioned earlier. This could be a bit of an issue for this team if they do get into foul trouble.
That's right, yeah. Well, Dengak has just gone to the bench, and the young Amos Brooks has stepped into the game, who's probably played more minutes than he expected so far this season. But he's played well. He's really established that backup 5 spot in place of Jordan Lingard, who seems to have fallen out of the rotation a little bit.
Yeah, so Dengak's just picked up his second foul, so that'll be why we're seeing big Mossy Amos Brooks rocking around. And we've called another change as well with David Crisp into the game.
Well, Ringwood will be delighted to see Dengak pick up his second foul. That's something they probably had to do early on if they're a chance at winning this game, and all of a sudden got a ball game as Amos Brooks looks to go to work.
Yeah, working on Sean Clark. This is some kilos getting thrown away around in that in the paint there.
And David Crisp checking into the game for the Miners, the import in his first year with the club, being brought off the bench as well.
That's an interesting move. You don't often see your imports coming off the bench, but really provides that spark with the second unit. So, yeah.
Well, we know he had a calf injury earlier on this year, but I believe he did play last week, didn't he?
Yeah, he suited up last week. And we see Amos Brooks picking up the foul this time. Emmett Nah was just attacking the paint and really getting the Ballarat centres up in the air and causing contact.
Yeah, he does that well, and just like that, the Ballarat's going to be in the penalty now for the remaining 4:30 of this match. But you're right about Emmett Nah. Look, he was a different team when he came to Ballarat.
Yep.
Ballarat was a different team when he joined the club last season. They started off pretty slow, but after he arrived, it's a shame the season got cancelled, because I really thought with him in the lineup, the Miners were a genuine title chance, because he can really play.
Yeah, and look, he's showing off his craft here tonight. Really started strongly in this game. Bit of a busted offense here.
Yeah, not a lot to go to, but Nick Pozoglu misses one that he probably should have made.
He wishes he could have that back. And guess who at the other end? Emmett Nah, but can't make that go.
Run and gun early from both teams so far as David Crisp has a crack, and they're going to get the ball back.
Wow, there's a bit of chaos ball there. As Will Hines checks in the game for Ballarat, young up-and-coming superstar in Ballarat. Really developed his game over the last 12 months or so, and found himself in the rotation for the Miners.
Yeah, he's been fantastic so far. He's really solidified that role as the backup point guard. His shooting prowess is well known, but it's his defense that's really impressed me this season.
Yeah, he's a fine young man too. I have the pleasure of speaking with Will from time to time around Ballarat, and wish him all the success in his career.
Good talent on the radio too.
Yes, he'll give you an honest appraisal of where he thinks other people are at.
And David Crisp can't connect there on his second shot. Looks like he lost his footing on that one.
Yeah, there's a couple of players seem to have lost their footing out on the court at the moment. It might be all the humidity in Ballarat here at the moment.
It hasn't been the prettiest game so far as Emmett Nah. Beautiful feed there to Sean Clark.
Yeah, that was a beautiful feed by Emmett Nah there. All the defense was drawn to him, and it was just a nice little pocket pass. And
as a big man yourself, when you can get those easy ones under the basket, it really does a lot for your confidence, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. It makes all the effort of boxing out and rebounding and playing defense all worth it. Speaking of which, here's Sean Clark again. Another rebound. I think Sean Clark will have to play a lot of minutes from Ringwood tonight as the only genuine big out there.
Yeah, no, you'd think so. And they're going to go to the line here again, the Hawks, as Tim Guers draws the foul, and he'll be frustrated, Luke Sunderland. I mean, look at the foul count, 5-0 in the first quarter here, as Zach Dunmore gets set to check into the game. You'd have to think, in the pre-game huddle, this is exactly the scenario they probably explicitly talked about avoiding.
Yeah, exactly right. Look, you're just giving away 3 points to Ringwood here. That play, there was nothing to be gained from that foul at all. The shot clock was running down, and they just gave up a cheap foul and sent them to the line in bonus. So, and here you go. You end up with Timmy Guers there knocking down both free throws.
And not a team you want to be sending to the line, a short team like Ringwood, all of whom can shoot the ball pretty well.
Yeah, already tonight, what have they shot? Nine free throws. Ringwood, so, you're just giving away points. Here's Will Hines going to the basket.
Oh,
can't make it go.
Yeah, and another one at the ring Ballarat probably should have made.
Quite a young lineup out there now, Ballarat, with Will Hines, Zach Dunmore, Amos Brooks.
Yeah, and JD Miller looks like he's playing the 4 alongside Amos Brooks at the 5. Oh, and a lovely inbound play.
It's a great pass. But that's just a total breakdown on defense there for the Miners, wasn't it? There wasn't a lot to that play other than just a lob pass over the top of the D. They just lost touch with their players.
Yeah, look, he'll be pretty frustrated by this, Luke Sunderland. 1 minute left, 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter, down 6 early against a team that they really probably should have looked to impose their dominance on early.
Yeah, absolutely. You're sitting second on the ladder and you're making a push for the playoffs. You really need to take care of business at home, and to be honest, they haven't done that yet. Look, in the first 10 minutes of this game, really the only people that have looked really dangerous are, really JD Miller, and that's about it.
Probably Nick Pozoglu from mine. I mean, 2 of 3 from the field. Really the only miner with a plus shooting percentage at the moment. Just looking at the box score here, Preston Boongi 0 from 1, and Cohen Sapple 1 from 4. JD Miller 2 of 4. Whereas you look over at Ringwood, bit of a balanced attack early on with everybody from the starting lineup already hitting the scoreboard.
Yeah, and look, that's the beauty of Emmett Nah being out there. He makes people around him better. So all the players from Ringwood are benefiting from Emmett Nah being out there, but also they're benefiting from getting to the free throw line. they've scored 9 easy points from the free throw line. Half their scores come from fouls.
It'll be interesting to see what Ballarat do defensively, to see whether they maybe go into a 3-2 zone or continue with the man.
Yeah, they're getting carved up inside, so I would imagine you'd see some zone action coming from the Miners here in the second quarter.
And it started as Ringwood gets a deflection there. It's really started from Ringwood's ball movement. Like I said before, their chemistry really does stand out, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Like they've come to play tonight, and unselfish play. We might have harshly critiqued Emmett Nah earlier for being too unselfish, but that's the way Ringwood play. They find the open man, and they're benefiting from it.
Oh, and Jordan Lingard will go to the line here. Foul called on Kyle Daggett. Looked like there was a lot of ball there.
Yeah, look, Jordan Lingard, he just snuck onto the court while we were talking there. He's come on for JD Miller, so this is a full 5 off the bench. All the starters for Ballarat on the bench.
It is strange. Maybe sending a message Luke Sunderland early that he's not too happy with what he's seen.
Yeah, look, if the starters can't get it done, there's plenty of guys sitting there waiting to step up.
Jordan Lingard makes short work of the second. Good to see him hit the scoreboard early. I feel like he's lacked a little bit of confidence so far this season.
Yeah, he's been an integral part of the Miners' rotation, but has fallen out of favour lately. So let's see if he can't find some more form. Will Hines, great defence.
Yeah, look.
Well, not according to Timmy Guers. He's telling Will Hines that he needs to stand up. It was a bit of a flop.
Tough shot made there by Guers, but looked like there was a bit of contact there. But look, no call from the ref, and that's 2 points. Will Hines here.
Very aggressive on offense too at the moment, Hines, isn't he?
Yeah. His third drive to the basket, but comes up with a turnover there as Ringwood starts spinning the ball.
Oh. Zach Dunmore got up there and met him at the top. Put Matthew Roberts shot back down.
No, I don't think he saw that one coming, did he?
No. Zach Dunmore's got a set of springs in those shoes.
He does. Yeah, it's somebody. It takes you a little bit by surprise just how much he can get up sometimes. You see him in warm-ups just casually dunking the ball. You think, oh, where does that come from?
Yeah, another one of the young Ballarat Miners players is developing really, really well over the last 12 months or so.
Had big games in the past. I can still remember a 24-point game he had. It was back in 2019 where he probably would have only been a 19-year-old then.
Yeah. I know he's been doing a lot of work in the off-season with Kyle Slack, who's the coach of the youth league team. So been doing a lot of work over the summer, and obviously that's starting to pay off.
Ringwood into Clark. He goes to work on Amos Brooks and gets it to go.
Big man Clark getting it done. You're just showing the young fella how it's done.
Yeah, a lot of body there, but absorbed the contact and lovely soft touch as Amos Brooks with the ball now at the top.
Yeah, Sean Clark's got really good hands for a big man. Like, he's got soft touch around the rim, and he's got some solid footwork as well.
Yeah, we just saw the difference in experience there with Amos Brooks coming up with that turnover. The pass was on initially, just a little bit late in getting it to Will Hines there.
Yeah, and that's just about making sure that your decision making's on point sooner, recognising the pass and getting it on quickly. So.
Well, 18 seconds to play. The Miners down 9 in what's, I've got to say, probably one of the worst quarters they've played so far this season.
Yeah, it hasn't been pretty. Let's see if we can't get something going here. Another broken play. Ringwood come up with it. It's been a solid performance by Ringwood in the first quarter. They've come to Ballarat and done what they needed to do. Got a nice solid lead, 9-point lead at quarter time. This is what the Ringwood coach, Ken Harrington, would have been dreaming about.
No, you're bang on. Look, they're up and about on the bench, and as they should be. But look, a lot of concerns for the Miners so far. Very sluggish to come out the gate. But I guess the question I have, you look at that lineup that finished the game. I think that's the first time I've seen those 5 players play together this season.
Yeah, it'd be the first time out of a training run that those 5 have been on the court together, I would imagine. And, like we were saying before, like maybe Luke Sunderland sending a message to his starters that, hey, if you can't get the job done, I'm going to find someone who can. So, you've got to pull the changes. You can't just keep butting your head against a brick wall. And, it looked like a major Ringwood brick wall at the start of the game.
Well, only 13 points for the Miners in that first quarter, and that is not going to get it done at this level. So down 9 points heading into the second. Just taking a look at the box score here. Got JD Miller with 5 points and Nick Pozoglu with 5 as well to lead all scorers. Not a lot else for the Miners, though. Great Northern will be fine. Northern, yeah. Can I get a bottle of water as well, if that's possible?
So yeah, just looking through the box score for Ringwood here, and you know, Timmy Goers, he's benefited from Emmett Nah being out there. He's got 6 points, and Emmett Nah's got 3 assists already in the first quarter. And you know, we've spoken a lot about Emmett in the first quarter, but you know, there's a lot to like about the way he plays, and you know, he's one of those teammates that I reckon would be, you know, really good to play with. He makes everyone around him that much better.
Yeah, no, look, he did that last season for the Miners. It's a shame we couldn't get him back this year for year 2. Albeit he's with Ringwood now, and he's got the ball, and he straight out of the gate. You
gotta love when you give a guy a rap and then he just makes you look like an absolute legend.
You look like Nostradamus
yeah,
there,
exactly.
but you're bang on. He saw that unfolding long before we all did, and it just paid off in a huge way. As Ringwood now with an 11-point lead.
So start of the second quarter here, 30 seconds in, and Ringwood have opened up an 11-point lead, and there's worrying signs here for the Miners as the Swiss Army knife gets the ball into Amos Brooks, can't finish.
Yeah, and look, a little bit of contact there, but still one he really should have finished at the basket.
Yeah, you really need to go straight over the top and finish strong. So, yeah. Disappointing start here for the Miners, but all credit to Ringwood. And again, Sean Clark strong inside and draws another foul. The Miners just seem to be struggling to understand how to contain Sean Clark and the likes inside, but also their guards for Ringwood as they drive in.
And what's incredible about this game is we're a quarter in. I don't think the Miners have drawn a single foul on Ringwood yet.
Nope. Ringwood have kept their hands out on D. They've just played straight up and basically, I guess, challenged the Miners to shoot over top of them.
Yeah, it's a pretty incredible role reversal thus far in this game. You know, we had the Miners with the obvious size advantage coming in. You would have thought they would have lived at the line tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we spoke about pre-game, how the size of the Miners was going to be a problem for Ringwood, but hey, I'm proven wrong.
Sean Clark makes short work of that second one, bringing his tally now up to 7 points as JD Miller the ball at the other end. Pozoglu, he's looked dangerous so far tonight, but he's stripped on that play. JD Miller comes up with it.
Good defense.
Draws the first foul for this match on Ringwood.
Matthew Snow, one of the veterans of Ringwood, dragging his team together to talk this over, but just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar a little bit. He was playing really great D and then just stuck his hand in.
Well, chance for the Miners to stem a little bit of the breathing now. Haven't scored since, I believe, about the 3rd minute mark of the first quarter as JD Miller misses the first one.
Yeah, I think there must be a lid on this end. I think they might want to go and check that at halftime.
Well, you can hear it in the crowd. There's not a lot of noise in here at the moment.
The life's been sucked out of the place by the way Ringwood are playing. And a lot of it's based on the playmaking of Emmett Nah. So here he goes again.
And the Miners, he picked up the
Sean Clark cut straight in the middle. I can't believe he missed that one. The easiest shot he's had all night.
The pressure did lift for the Miners in that defensive segment, but Sean Clark really missed one he should have made as Bungie misses a 3 down the other end, and the Hawks will set up the ball here again.
Yeah, look, Ringwood have just totally outplayed them so far in this game, and you know, they've dug themselves a hole they need to get out of. Emmett Nah rattles one in around, couldn't drop it.
Unlucky on that one. Got a good look at the ball and a feed from Barry. Just Nick Godsley.
Whoa. Sean Clark takes a shot there in the back of the head by Deng. So Yeah.
Fouls and missed layups have been the story for the Miners so far this game. As Zoglu misses another one at the basket. It's been surprising to see, hasn't it?
Yeah, you're right, Kyle. Look, they've just really squandered the opportunities that they've had early, and you just wonder how much that's going to, come back to hurt them later in the game. With already an 11-point hole that they've dug themselves.
And here's Clark again.
Oh, it's a great pass.
I got to admit, I just did not even see that one. I was looking at Sean Clark, who was establishing great position.
Yeah, Emmett Nah found Kyle Daggett just cutting straight down the middle of the lane. And again, just nobody checking him.
Just an incredible pinpoint pass. As they look to go here again, the Hawks.
They just seem so more fluent on offense. And again, another foul.
And that's just a great example of giving up a good shot to find a great shot, isn't it?
Exactly.
You had Daggett, who could have stepped into a 3 in transition there, which, he would have been well within his rights to have taken, but instead puts the ball on the floor, finds Clark, who's just hit a couple of free throws, and he'll get a couple more.
Exactly. And, I guess more importantly, J.D. Miller racks up another foul for Ballarat. So, like I said just before, that Ringwood have come into Ballarat Selkirk Stadium and really done what they wanted to do, which was, rack up early fouls and build a nice little lead.
Clark hits the first one there, definitely among one of the worst halves of basketball the Miners have put together so far this season. 14 points down in their home building.
Yeah, it really sucked the life out of the place. Sean Clark makes another one. And getting a well-earned rest, Sean Clark. He has really played extremely well in this opening quarter and a half.
Jack Roberts checking into the game for Sean Clark, so he'll line up on Preston Bungie as J.D. Miller goes to work on Daggett, and tough shot there.
See, again, they've got that size advantage, Ballarat, especially now with Clark sitting on the bench for Ringwood, but they settle for a fadeaway. They just don't get all the way to the cup and exploit their size.
Yeah, you're right there as Clark comes up the ball again. And David Chris just hasn't been able to find the mark so far this game. 0 of 3 from the field now as he drives to the rack again. Finally gets one to go.
Got the lid off at that end now. Yeah, look, when you're struggling to shoot the ball from outside like that, that's what you need to do. Get to the basket, see a couple go through, get a couple of easy ones, and then work on that outside shot later on.
And you do wonder if he's perhaps trying a beautiful shot there.
Timmy Guers again.
Guers, but just back onto David Crisp, you do wonder if he's maybe still adjusting a little bit to that bench role as well.
Yeah, potentially. Look, life's a lot harder when you're coming on with the bench players. You've got to create your own shot. It's probably not as free-flowing. You might get a bit more attention from the defense. If you're out there with the starters, you can fly under the radar a little bit, get easier to get open shots.
It is one of those things, isn't it? Like, I know me personally as a player, I hate coming off the bench. Like, I hate it. Even when I know I should be coming off the bench, I still hate it. There's something about it. It's just having to watch the start of the game. You're coming in, you're cold. You just can't adjust with the flow of it. Yeah,
exactly right. And, you're right. Like, when you're coming off the bench, you've got to come in and inject yourself into the game, whereas the other players have been out there from the start. They've worked their way into the game. I must admit, at my age, I actually really enjoy sitting on the bench these days. So that sort of flipped around for me. And, you're right. And, he just needs to find his rhythm with the guys that are on the floor and let the game come to him. Like, we saw before he made his way to the basket and made a nice layup, but forcing up a 3 in transition is not going to get it done, and it's not going to dig you out of a 16-point hole.
Well, if there's one thing the Miners need at the moment, it is a spark, and it's yet to be seen where that spark's going to come from as Pete Pozoglu lines up at the point again. The Miners will look to try and get through their sets with everyone touching the ball here. It ends with a pretty decent shot, but possibly can't make it.
Yeah, and they're backpedaling on defense again. Look, for mine, it's got to be JD Miller. Has to be, he has to be finding the ball right under the basket for the Miners. See a couple of easy ones going, oh my goodness. This just keeps getting filled up by Timmy Guers.
Yeah, it's been one of those nights for Timmy Guers, who now has 12 points with a huge step back three. Some bit of a heat check, that shot, wasn't it?
Well, it looks like he's got the green light from his coach, because he is firing them up from everywhere.
And fantastic defense, Claps defense there.
Oh, Preston Bungie could not get that to go.
And another shot at the basket missed for the Miners. It's been the story of the night.
Offensive rebounds and hustle plays are how you get back in the games, though, Kyle. You can't just rely on making shots. You've got to do the dirty work. You've got to get in and get those offensive boards, the hustle plays, play good defense. That's how you get back from a deficit like this.
Credit to this Ringwood defense in some ways, though. Although they're undersized, their team help defense has been phenomenal. Look how active they all are when JD Miller gets his ball.
Yeah, you're right. And look at that collapse. Yep. But again, I honestly believe that JD Miller, that's where they're going to get their spark from. Getting him the ball inside like that. He'll go to the line, shoot a couple of free throws, see a couple of easy ones go down, and they can build from that. But you're right, Ringwood's defense is just swarming all over the Ballarat players once they get into the paint.
19 down the Miners, and JD Miller will go to the line 4-2. 6 points on the night so far, as he misses the first one there.
And that hurts. Yeah. You can do the hustle plays, you can get the offensive boards, but at the end of the day, you still need to put the ball in the hoop.
Yeah, second free throw he's missed so far tonight, Miller, as he misses the second one as well. Oh, you're right. It just keeps going from bad to worse for the Miners at the moment.
Yeah, it's really unravelling here at the moment. That's what, players need to stop the rot.
Emmett Nara again with a fantastic pass under the basket. Daggett can't finish. He's getting another chance here. Fires it back out to the corner.
Ball movement. Ringwood just flinging the ball around. Oh, that's good stuff. That's good hustle. Oh, it's an offensive foul. Yeah. Yeah, David Crisp just cleared space with that with the off arm, and the referee was right on the money there.
Just a bit too overzealous to finish off the player, wasn't he?
Yeah, and look, that's what happens when you get down by this amount early in a game. You can start to try too hard, and that's when mistakes like that will be made. But at least he's still attacking the paint, and that's what you need to do. You need to stay active and stay positive.
Emmett Nara again.
Speaking of active and positive.
Yeah, and that's a goaltend.
Yeah. But again, Emmett Nara just setting up the play again. Kyle Zaggett will be buying Emmett Nara a meal on the way home, I would have thought, after this performance.
He's sixth assist on the night, Emmett Nara, and we've still got 4 minutes to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, he's on for a big night by the look of it.
Just been setting the table for his club as Nick Pizoglu gets all the way to the basket.
Yeah, Pizoglu's probably been one of the few shining lights for the Miners tonight. He's been able to get to the basket and score.
Yeah, 7 points already as Emmett Nara just blows by him there to finish with the right hand. Great hesitation dribble there, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, another offensive foul, and again, this is Ballarat just trying too hard to get back into the game.
And the fifth foul for Ballarat. Given it was offensive, the Hawks won't get shots on that one, but again, in the penalty with almost half a quarter to play.
Exactly, and again, you're staring down the barrel of basically just giving Ringwood 3 points for the rest of the journey of this quarter.
Is Gura again. He's just been on fire tonight.
Oh. Got closed down that time, and that was what we expected to see a lot of in this game, was, Ringwood really been stifled on the offensive end by the longer Ballarat players.
Yeah, it's you can just tell it's the start they've gotten off to. They've really got their confidence up at the moment, haven't they? The ball just seems to be bouncing their way as well, doesn't it? It's just one of those games for the Miners.
They say, hard work usually results in the luckiest people. So, and it looks like Ringwood are working a lot harder than Ballarat here tonight, and they're reaping the rewards. So maybe Will Hines can be that spark coming off the bench.
Preston Boongi still looking for his first field goal of the night.
Oh,
Unable to come up with it there.
offensive rebound though, and again, you know, those are the plays that they've got to make. It was unlucky, wasn't it? He did all the hard work backing down into the paint, and then, you know, just to see the ball rattle around and drop out.
Yeah, well, look, you live by the floater, you die by the floater, unfortunately. And I've seen games where he makes all of them, but
yep.
there are some games where they just
nice
don't go
feed.
down.
Will Hines just feeding J.D. Miller.
Yeah, great finish from Miller as well. Not the easiest finish, had a bit of work to do.
Will Hines must have heard us earlier on. He's, feeding J.D. Miller in the paint, and that's a pretty good strategy when he can finish like that around the rim.
Ringwood setting up with the ball again. Finds Nah, great around the back crossover. Well anticipated by Boongi, who should make short work of this, and he does.
Throws it down. And that's got the Ballarat crowd up on their feet. But that's just essentially defense creating their offense. So, you know, working hard on the defensive end, and, you know, you reap the rewards and maybe get some easy layups. So, you know, 17 points down. We've still got 2.5 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Ballarat, I'm sure Luke Sunderland will be telling his team that he just, you know, hit singles. You know, chip your way back into this game and, you know, get this lead down to something manageable at half-time so they can build on it.
And first points of the night for Preston Boongi, who's been the Miners' leading scorer this season with just a shade over 15 points per game. And look, if he doesn't score, if he doesn't get to double figures, there's probably not a lot of other guys on the team who can sort of have that similar impact, is there?
Yeah, look, if he's not pouring in a decent amount of points, yeah, you look down the bench and go, okay, well, who's going to be that next person to step up? And, you know, that's when, you know, Luke Sunderland's going to be looking at his other players and saying, hey, you know, it's your time to shine, guys. So, you know, it doesn't seem to be an issue at Ringwood's end. Like, Ringwood have, you know, multiple players who can score, but let's face it, everything's coming through Emmett Nah, and he's just giving silver service to the rest of the team.
Yeah, he's been on fire so far. Emmett Nah with the 6 dimes to go along with 6 points. They're the best player so far as he brings up the ball again, guarded by Will Hines.
Extremely unselfish player.
Daggett lines up J.D.
Tried
Miller.
to repay the favour to Emmett Nah with a little dime there, but
Sapple still can't get one to go. 0 from 3 from the three-point line for Sapple.
yeah, they're really struggling from outside at the moment.
Great defense there from Boongi. Just knew exactly where Gua wanted to go.
And that's the sort of stuff that will turn the game around for you. Finally, David Crisp knocks down a 3. And the crowd are getting very vocal here in Ballarat.
And that'll do wonders for his confidence as well, seeing that one go down.
Yeah, that's right. Look, like we said before, he got into the paint earlier and made a layup, and now he's stepped out and hit a 3, so he should have his tail up.
Yeah, the Miners again, a real chance to put back-to-back buckets together. Get back in this ball game as Sapple gets all the way to the basket. Just like that, the Miners cut.
12 points down, minute and a half to go.
And just like that, the Miners cut 17-point lead down to 12.
Yeah, the Miners really made a solid run there. And to be honest, a lot of that's just come off the back of really good defense. So, you know, being more active on defense, you know, locking down those driving lanes, they've really just turned their defense into offense. So, a bit of a concern for Ringwood. You know, they had a nice solid lead and they looked like they were coasting away to a really good road win. The Miners have knuckled down now and brought it back within 12.
Yeah, no, they have. It's just looking at the box score here. Bit more of a balanced attack for the Miners now on offense. J.D. Miller still leading all scorers with 8 points, followed up by Nick Pazoglu with 7. But David Crisp off the bench, really starting to get going now. He's got 5 following that last 3.
Yeah, David Crisp really struggled at the start of the game, but yeah, after making a layup and then knocking down that 3 that brought the crowd to its feet, he's really starting to find it.
Saturday night in
So we've got a minute 23 left in the first half. A 12-point lead to Ringwood.
Emmett Nah back at the top. Gula on the curl. Good defense. Boongi to stay in his face. Nowhere to go.
That was a broken offense, and Ballarat are off and running again. Out in transition. David Crisp, can you repeat the dose? Nope, pulls it back out.
Miners, Sappel just probing here, not where to go, but still makes something out of nothing.
It really was, wasn't it? Like, that play was pretty broken.
Will Hines
Wow.
draws an offensive foul.
Matthew Snow with a big screen, but this is illegally. Blindsided young Will Hines.
Yeah, maybe a little bit shaken up after that. He really hit pretty hard, didn't he?
Oh, I think he'll need to hit Will Hines a bit harder than that to shake him up. He's a pretty tough cookie, the young man, so he enjoys a physical game as well. So
a real chance here to cut the lead to only single digits.
Will Hines. Yeah, they might have fired up and poked the bear there a little bit and fired up Will Hines.
Well, just like that, the Miners within 8. JD Miller comes up with a huge rebound, 3-on-1.
Did that in traffic. That was a nest of Hawks around him on that rebound.
Here's Crisp. We'll look for JD Miller down low, finds him. Look to go to work against Clark. No double team. He puts it away.
Wow.
Appealing for a foul call as well.
End of the first half. Miners have cut this lead to just 6 points. After it looked like it was just a case of Ringwood by how much?
Yeah, huge end to the quarter with an 11-0 run to cut the lead from 17 to 6 going into half time, and all of a sudden, right back in it, aren't they?
My word, that was a way to finish off the half. They were down, how much were they down by? 17? 17 points down with about 3.5 minutes to go, and they've cut it to 6.
Yeah, no, look, really unbelievable finish for the Miners. It seemingly came out of nowhere, didn't it? They just turned the Jets on, and all of a sudden, I mean, Ringwood, probably a little bit shell-shocked going into the sheds there. Their comfortable lead, all but naught, going into half-time. I mean, just looking at the box score here, it's come from a lot of places, but JD Miller really stamping his mark on the game at the end there.
Yeah, that's right. And look, I hate to say it, Kyle, but I called that. Look, they need to exploit the advantages they have over Ringwood. One of them, size and length, as far as JD Miller and the like. So they really need to be exploiting that inside. But the big concern, I guess, for the Miners is JD Miller with 2 fouls and Dengak with 3. So. And young Amos Brooks with 2 as well. So it seems like all their bigs are in foul trouble. And we'll see how that plays out in the second half.
Yeah, Dengak, only the 5 minutes in the first half. No points on the night. And just given his presence inside and that intimidation factor he provides defensively, he'll mean a lot for the Miners if he can keep out of foul trouble in the second half.
Yeah, that's right. Mind you, there didn't seem to be much intimidation on Sean Clark. He just had his way with him down there in the first half. So Sean Clark, he's been great for Ringwood, and outside of Emmett Nah, one of their best players. So just wondering how much of that load that Sean Clark can handle for the whole game. But we're interested to see in the second half.
He's been the one of the stories of the night for Ringwood, Sean Clark. But I guess the big question is for the Miners is what do they do about Emmett Nah?
Well, what can you do? I mean, it looks like the answer is to keep the ball out of his hands. So, if he's bringing the ball up the court, you've got a problem. But once the ball gets out of his hands, you've got to deny it getting back into his hands. He just creates so well for the rest of his team that you've just really got to deny him the ball and make sure he can't have as much of an impact.
Well, we'll take a break here with 12 minutes to go until the second half gets underway. We'll see you in a short time.
a strong, smooth, creamy latte.
Be your own barista at Coles Express with award-winning Coles Urban Coffee Culture from just $1. Express yourself at Coles Express. Come on! My new dream home with memories to call my own. It's my Hatondo home. It's my Hatondo home. It's my Hatondo home.
Welcome back to the second half of Ballarat Miners versus the Ringwood Hawks at Selkirk Stadium in Ballarat. We're about to get underway again after Ringwood opened up a big lead of 17 midway through the second quarter. Ballarat Miners have dragged that back to 6 just before half time. Got their tails up and looking to kick on and make a real contest out of this.
Do it.
And we're away in the second half. Colin Sapwell just loses the handle on that one early. And the usual suspect, Emmett Nah, brings the ball up the court.
Emmett Nah, fantastic first half for the point guard, really tearing up the Miners in a lot of ways. 6 assists to go along with 6 points.
Yeah, he was getting to whatever spot he wanted to get to, whenever he wanted to get to it. And the Miners really had no answer for it. They couldn't get in front of him, couldn't hold him down.
Well, huge end to the first half for the Miners, cutting that lead from 17 back to 6. And all of a sudden, a game on our hands here in the third quarter as Gua misses his first shot of the half. He's another guy who was on fire in that first half, wasn't he?
Certainly was, and he was letting them go from all over the place too.
Owen Sapwell from way downtown can't connect on that one.
Still can't buy a three down there. Finally.
Bit of a broken offense there for the Miners, but J.D. Miller knocks that one down, and all of a sudden it's a tied ball game.
J.D. Miller just let that one go and continued on his good shooting so far in this game. And to be honest, he's probably led the way for the Miners with 10 points so far in this game. 7 rebounds to go along with those 10 points.
Big answer there from Daggett, who hits one from the baseline. But you're right about J.D. Miller. You mentioned earlier on that was where the spark had to come from, and it has, as Dengak misses his first shot of the night. Horrible, dirty night so far for Dengak, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's really struggled. Can't seem to do anything right tonight.
I think he's just given away another foul as well.
Maybe he has. That's his 4th foul? Dengak. Then he's going back to the bench again. Oh. He's been on the court for 7.5 minutes so far in this game. Well, racked up 4 fouls and hasn't troubled the scoreboard.
As a big man yourself, sometimes you just have those games, can't you?
More often than not these days.
As Emmett Nah again looks to penetrate the defense and does, and finishes with the right hand.
Yeah, he's picked up where he left off in that second quarter.
8 points for Nah, and it's been a stellar game so far, just leading his troops out on the court. As Cohen Sapple tries to answer, can't get it to go.
Another offensive rebound for the Miners. That helps.
Tough shot there from Crisp. Daggett comes up with the rebound. Here's Gua bringing it up the floor.
I feel like David Crisp has been taking some shots that, there's easier shots out there. And he just seems to be making life a bit harder for himself than it needs to be.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure what it is, but he just doesn't have the same energy out there tonight that we've seen earlier in the season, where he's up and about and he's getting the crowd into it and stuff, and drawing at the bench. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to have it tonight.
Yeah, it really seems to be lacking that energy, but he's not on his own. He's not an island when it comes to that tonight for Ballarat. They've been a little bit flat, but J.D. Miller finds himself at the free throw line again, and again, I guess we were talking earlier, that was how the Ballarat team got back into the game, was getting into the paint, getting some free throws and seeing the ball go through the basket.
Well, 14 points now for J.D. Miller, who is quietly building up a bit of a tally for himself.
Yeah, he's been the real shining light so far tonight for the Miners.
As Clark comes up with the rebound, another big first half for the big man Clark, who was up against it at the start of this game, but has really put his stamp on it.
Yeah, we thought he might have struggled against this long lineup of Miners, but his physicality around the basket has really stood out for Ringwood.
Emmett Nah, just a beautiful teardrop.
Seems like Emmett Nah's had enough addition dimes, and he's starting to put some points on the board as well to go with those assists. Colin Sapwell, that missed everything.
10 points now, Emmett Nah, as Cohen Sapwell continues to struggle from downtown in just a bit of a bit of an off patch for him in the last few games. As Jack Roberts gets a 3 to go, and just like that, Ringwood's lead is back out to 12. And the Miners' hard work to get back into the game seemingly undone.
Yeah, and that really hurts, doesn't it? You put in those hard yards, you really work your backside off to get back into a game, and then, in the first 3.5 minutes of this quarter, they've basically thrown that away.
And the ironic thing is, it's been the Miners' starting lineup that's just been getting torched tonight.
Correct, yeah.
As they give up another turnover. And Gua will go to the free throw line. I guess the question is now, how long before Luke Sunderland brings some of the guys back into the game who managed to get the game back?
Yeah, well, he pulled the trigger in that second quarter and basically cleared his bench, and that started to pay dividends. But I'm not sure he'll put up with too much more rot from the starting lineup again in this quarter. But for Ringwood, they're looking at their 15th and 16th free throw coming up for the game, as opposed to the Miners who've only shot 8. So, just giving up 3 points is really, really hurting them.
Surprising in a lot of ways for the Miners. You almost would have said they stole momentum back at the end of that first half. Yet here we are, 4 minutes into the second. They've barely got a basket to go, and they're down 12 again. Yeah,
it seems that they come out of the lock. Well, tonight it certainly seems that way. They're coming out of the locker room really, really flat. So I don't know. Maybe it's something they need to work on. That you can't afford to have these lapses at the start of each half. It's really hurting them, and they found themselves 12 points in the hole at the moment.
Real balanced attack for Ringwood. We just mentioned Emmett Nah. He's now got 10 points, but Tim Gua's 12 points on the night. He's about to shoot 2 more free throws. But Kyle Daggett, 14 points, and a pretty quiet 14 points, 5 from 9 shooting.
Yeah, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. He's really done a bit of everything tonight, including hitting a couple of threes. So, Kyle Daggett has been, it looked like a quiet night, but when you look at the box score, he's filling it up.
Tim Guas makes short work of the first one, and he off on the second as Pozzoglu comes up with the rebound. One of the few bright spots for Ballarat in that first half, Nick Pozzoglu.
Yeah, he was really active early on, wasn't he? And he was sort of playing a lone hand there at the start of the game.
Here's Crisp at the top, trying to find somewhere to go. Finds Pozzoglu, who will go to work. Finds Miller in the corner. Great closeout, and just can't connect on the jump shot. But Boongi comes up with the ball. Only 2 points for Boongi so far. Finds Miller, who easy dunk through the centre.
Yeah, that's got to make him feel a bit better about himself. J.D. Miller getting a nice easy dunk through the line.
And yeah, look, props to Preston Boongi as well. It's been a rough night for Boongi, whose average is 15 points tonight. Only the 2 so far, but still working to come up with the offensive rebound and to find Miller there down the centre.
Yeah, and I was just about to say he's done a great job to get a hand out there to Timmy Guas, but Guas just stuck it in his eye and told him all about it.
No, he doesn't lack confidence, Gua, does he?
No, he's pretty happy with where he's at in life, and he's pretty happy to tell some of the Ballarat players about how he's going tonight.
Sean Clark with another 2 there to extend the lead to 12. Here's Nah at the top.
Yeah, Emmett Nah looking, and there's that man again putting up a quiet double-double, I would have thought, from Kyle Daggett by the end of the night.
And another foul on the Miners, and Cohen Sapple pleading with the referee. Doesn't think there was a lot in that one.
I can say by experience, Kyle pleading with the referees does not work.
No.
Once the decision's been made, you just need to move on.
I'm inclined to agree with you on that one. Doesn't stop me from still trying to tell them otherwise, though, a lot of the time. As Sean Clark hits that first free throw there. And 2 from 2 from the line.
We've got ourselves a 14-point game. This one's slipping away from the Miners again. Ringwood just haven't really exploded with scoring, but they've just ground away at the Miners and built their leads that they've had.
Just played a really solid all-round game, haven't they, in a lot of ways? Not only offensively, but defensively as well. What they've lacked in size, they've just made up for with effort and activity. And just offensively, they've just moved the ball in just such a crisp and an effective way.
Yeah, look, we said right from the start, their willingness to pass the ball and like you said earlier, Kyle, give up a good shot to get a great shot. It's really paid off for them, and that's how they've been able to build these leads.
Preston Bungie hitting a free throw there, bringing his tally up to 3 points on the night. And can't connect with the second as Daggett, big time defensive rebound.
Yeah, he's putting together a really handy game, Kyle Daggett.
And Zach Dunmore on him at the moment, huge mismatch, which he's going to try and exploit here.
Oh, that was
probably the wrong decision by Guas, who, like I said, had Daggett on Dunmore in the post there. Goes for the skip pass, which...
Yeah, the Miners really dodged a bullet there. That mismatch, I mean, for Kyle Daggett, that would have been barbecue chicken if he had been given the ball down there in the low block with young Zach Dunmore guarding him. But they just couldn't get the ball in the paint. And then give up a pretty sloppy foul, actually, on a loose ball. So Ringwood doing their best to keep Ballarat in it.
Just on Dunmore, he's checked into the game now for Cohen Sapple, who looks like he's stretching his hammy on the bench there.
Yeah, it looks like he's in some discomfort at the moment. See his calf's heavily strapped as well, so hopefully there's no major issue there.
J.D. Miller nowhere to go, finds Crisp, who probably not the best shot there. Bit of a tough one. As Emmett Nah comes up with it, and he'll set up the offense again for the Hawks.
Yeah, it seems like the Miners have really gone away from what got them back into the game late in that second quarter, which was getting into the paint.
Well, the energy again's gone from this building as Guas airballs a three.
I'm just wondering if anybody's going to give Guas some feedback on that last shot. He's pretty happy to give out the feedback to others, so I'm sure he'll reflect on that.
I reckon he's just shocked that it missed, to be honest.
He hasn't missed a lot tonight. He's done a lot right, Timmy Guas, so far tonight.
Zach Dunmore yet to put up a shot tonight. A bit of a miscommunication there on the pass to Pazoglu. Guarding Emmett Nah up the court, who
tough
will
assignment.
Just patiently prod, and he does so.
At least then the Miners collapsed and cut that drive off from Emmett Nah.
Yeah, look, he was beaten there, Dunmore. He was, good help D. Oh, there he is again.
Hard to keep a good man down.
No, just a well-timed cut there and a great finish with the right. 12 points now, Emmett Nah. And just deja vu watching him go to work in this building.
Yeah. Yeah, he's that sort of ball handling and distribution have been very handy, but J.D. Miller's doing his best to drag the Miners back into this game.
Yeah, bringing his tally up now to 18 points on the night, J.D. Miller. Emmett Nah finds Clark. He can't hold on to it, almost lost it. Gets it back. He's calling for it again.
The shot clock winding down, no good. J.D. Miller again, he's everywhere at the moment. I think he's 8th rebound as well to go along with 18 points. Dunmore into the paint. Scores 2.
Dunmore, first shot of the night for Dunmore.
He's shooting at a pretty good clip, though, I think, Kyle. 1 from 1.
1 from 1, that's right. No, it's good to see him. Good to see him get a shot up. He's another player that doesn't usually lack confidence, but he's someone, if you can see the ball go through the hoop a couple of times, look out.
Yeah, exactly right. It can get hot, and these are the opportunities in games like this where your starting 5 aren't setting the world on fire. Young blokes like Will Hines and Zach Dunmore, when they come into the game, they've got to be ready to go.
And to their credit, they usually are, but just on this match, 10 points down, 2 to play in this third quarter. Again, just a real lifeless display from the Miners, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And, they've come out really flat out of half-time. And, now, again, dug themselves in a hole, and they're trying to dig themselves back out again. So they've got their work cut out for them. And Ringwood can sniff a big road victory here.
Well, you'd certainly pick Ringwood from here. That being said, I can think back to round 1 with the Miners. I think we're down by more than this against Geelong. They almost came back and stole that.
Yep.
That being said, they had a lot more energy to their game in that encounter than their display tonight.
Seems a little flat tonight. good to see Colin Sapwell back out there. Hopefully there's nothing too serious, just a little bit of stretching. So
Will Hines checking back into the game too, and he's going to man up on Emmett Nah, which I think is the right decision.
yeah, I think that's probably the best matchup the Miners have got at the moment. Is Will Hines on Emmett Nah. Similar sort of players, really.
They are, yeah, similar builds as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's Dunmore as he steps back for three, and he's got it. Back-to-back baskets for Dunmore.
There's the spark we needed from the young Ballarat players are delivering again and trying to drag their team back into this game.
And he'll be up and about after that, Zach Dunmore.
Will Hines doing a good job on Emmett Nah, but just draws a foul.
Heads up veterans move to draw that foul there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just so quick, changing direction. Not a lot Will Hines could have done.
Yeah, Emmett Nah, he's got some tricks in his bag, hasn't he?
Oh, he's, you can call him an NBL veteran these days. He's been with the Illawarra Hawks now for at least 4 years, I reckon.
Yeah.
And,
He's been there a long time in that program and being around those NBL players year in, year out, it really builds his game. So when he comes back to this sort of this level at NBL 1, he's ready to ball out.
And he's had moments in the NBL. Didn't play a lot last season, but I can remember one game where he scored 17 points at the top level. He's shown that he can do it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will Hines gets all the way to the basket.
Will Hines showing some of his own tricks.
Great take. Just using his size advantage over Nah, which if there's one weakness to Nah's game, it's probably on the defensive end.
Yeah, that's right. Will Hines looked to exploit that then.
Looks to go back at him here. A great block from Hines, who's saying that ball came out off Nah. The referee says otherwise. But Nah gives him a little pat on the back after that one.
A bit of mutual respect between these two, isn't there?
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. They probably guarded each other a fair bit at training last season.
Yeah, looks that way. So, Timmy Gillis, yeah.
He gets some elevation on that jump shot, doesn't he?
Yeah, he certainly does, and creates that separation from the defensive player. So, by doing that, he's getting some good looks and making the most of them.
J.D. Miller, well defended there from Clark. Cohen just loses the handle. Gets it back. Oh, really tough finish with the right hand.
That was a busted offense, and resulted in 2 points.
Really made something from nothing there.
And again, the Miners have dragged it back late in the quarter and made a game of this. Back to 7 points.
And pretty smart foul there. Although he's appealing it, they did. Oh no, they don't have a foul to give. Sorry.
That'll send Ringwood to the line, and Timmy Goers is licking his chops for another couple of points here.
Not a smart foul at all. And make short work of the first one. That's now bringing his tally up to 17 points on the night.
Yeah, 4 or 5 from the free throw line as well. Getting some cheapies there. No problem with the second. So we've got a 9-point game. 4 seconds to go. Will Hines brings it up. Finds J.D. Miller.
Oh, and he didn't seem to look at the clock there when he caught it. He had enough space to shoot that one.
Yeah, that was just a total lack of awareness of what the clock was doing, and J.D. Miller just having to throw up a prayer in the end from off his bootlaces.
Well, bit of a encouraging finish in some ways there for the Miners, cutting the lead 2-7. That being said, disappointing to send Gills to the line there, back up at 9.
Yeah, look, Ringwood just seem to have been able to stave off every challenge that Ballarat have made so far in this game. And to be honest, they've looked a better team all night.
I think what surprises me the most is after that first half, I would have bet my life on the Miners really coming out with a higher level of intensity at the start of that third quarter.
Yep.
And that just didn't happen.
No, they came out flat as a pancake like they did at the start of the game. Dug themselves into a whopping great hole again. And again, it was the young guys coming off the bench giving them that spark. Will Hines and Zach Dunmore, they were the ones that were supporting J.D. Miller in bringing the team back into the game. So, for mine, you go with what's working, and I'll be surprised if Luke Sunderland goes back with his starters for the start of the fourth quarter. I think he might actually go back with the young kids that just finished off that quarter.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, if nothing else, they deserve to be out there. Just on J.D. Miller, 21 points for the night on 8 of 13 shooting, so pretty solid night for him.
Yeah.
Looking over at Ringwood, Tim Guers, who's been the man offensively for the side, 6 of 13 from the field. He's up to 20 points.
Emmett Naar's got himself 14 points and 10 assists, got himself a nice little double-double.
Yeah, he's been fantastic.
He's going to need 9 rebounds in the last quarter to make a triple-double, but it's not out of the realms of possibility the way Emmett Naar's going tonight.
Stranger things have happened. Kyle Daggett, 16 points on the night, 5 of 9. Just been a bit of a silent assassin
he's got
for the Hawks.
8 rebounds to go along with that and 3 assists as well. So, yeah, he's done a bit of everything. I've been really impressed with Sean Clark as well. I mean, he hasn't played huge minutes, but he's done what he needed to do. He came in here and gave them the spark they needed early.
Well, banging bodies, set good screens.
Exactly.
He hasn't stopped moving.
Yeah. Speaking of banging bodies, Matthew Snow, he doesn't mind a bit of physicality, the veteran point guard.
Will Hines picking up another early foul for the Miners to start this fourth quarter, which has been another subplot of this game. The Miners just cannot keep their hands out.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot of it's due to being behind and trying to make that extra play and trying to overdo it a little bit. Oh, nice defense.
Yeah, I mean, that was ambitious at the best of times, that shot.
But if anyone could pull it off, it'd be Timmy Gills tonight. He's had a fine night. But those are the sort of plays that will keep him in the game.
And already a second foul on Hines this quarter. 2 team fouls there for the Miners. And was that a lob pass from the baseline to Emmett Naar to the point guard in the key?
I feel like that play was a bit back to front. I think Emmett Naar was supposed to be the one passing that in. But they like going straight at the rim, Ringwood, from the baseline play. Matthew Snow just in the right place at the right time. Ball fell in his lap. Forced a turnover.
Yeah, good defense there. Jack Berry just running out of room there. As Will Hines brings the ball up the court. 2 quick fouls for him this quarter, though I don't think he's in foul trouble. He looks to take it to the left, finds Lingard. He goes to Miller. Here's Pozoglu, back to Lingard. Not really going anywhere, the Miners at the moment. Good defense, Berry.
Another broken offense.
Stripped.
Yeah. Will Hines just trying to create there. There was nothing really happening on offense. Everyone was just very stagnant. Tried to create.
No one really looked threatening, did they?
No.
As Emmett Naar gets 2 more with another one of his pattern and floaters, which just don't look like missing, do they?
He has looked threatening tonight. He's doing everything right, Emmett Naar.
Colin Sapper almost with his second air ball of the night.
Caught a little bit of iron on the way through. I'm not sure how. But active on the defensive end. That's the way to come back after a poor shot. Hines from the corner. No good. Colin Sapwell again doing some of the dirty work.
Yeah,
and gets the reward.
Yeah, and look, heads up to Colin Sapwell as well. He's had a rough shooting night, but he hasn't stopped playing, has he?
Exactly, yeah. And look, still putting in on the defensive end.
Very much.
Hitting those offensive boards as well, creating for his team. So
great pass. I think that was Berry who found Clark there under the basket.
There's been a few times tonight where Ringwood have scored really easily in the paint, and it just hasn't been the same for Ballarat. Ringwood have been able to find those really easy plays, but everything has come hard for Ballarat.
Yeah, they've caught Ballarat off guard a number of times, just with quick offense.
Yeah.
Just a quick drive and a quick pass, and before Ballarat have really had time to set up their defense. But I guess that is their strength. They've got a number of just really quick guards who just get up the court quickly.
Yeah, exactly right. And then they're bringing on veterans like Matthew Snow coming off the bench and being really physical with the Ballarat guards as well, and giving them really valuable minutes off the bench.
And Nick Pozoglu will step to the line for 2. And
been a dirty night from the free throw line, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, a good first half. Nick Pozoglu hasn't been able to have that same sort of impact in the second half. He's gone a little bit quiet. There's 7 points on the night. 3 from 6 from the field as he cans the second. There's Emmett Nah to bring the ball up again. Better defense here from the Miners. Ringwood settle for the 3,
Wow.
but great ball movement as I believe that was
That's Jack Roberts?
Jack Roberts who's
Yeah.
canned that one. Berry comes up with the ball again. Here's Nah, who's got some space to work with. Oh, a beautiful pass followed up by an incredible block from Miller. And Sapple just can't finish at the other end.
He could not buy a bucket at the moment.
Oh, it's just
Sapwell.
sums up the night for the Miners at the moment, doesn't it? Where Murphy's the sixth man at the moment, where everything that can go wrong just seems to be going wrong.
That's a good call. Yeah, they've really at times they've battled really hard, but just had no luck whatsoever.
Another wide open 3, which just does not go down.
Yeah, and you start to feel this game slipping away from Ballarat.
It is, isn't it? The crowd's getting restless all of a sudden.
Yeah,
people are looking at their phones.
Yeah, it's starting to slip away, and to be honest, they've only got themselves to blame. They've dug themselves into holes multiple times tonight, and you can't rely on just shooting your way out of it.
No, it's a funny game basketball sometimes, isn't it? When the gods aren't with you, they certainly aren't. But credit to Ringwood, though. They've been fantastic tonight.
Oh, it's been a really solid performance from Ringwood, and there's a lot to like about this team. The way they play together, the way they play for each other, the chemistry, and just, I guess, the overall balance of the team.
Yeah, there's a selflessness to their game, which I've quite enjoyed tonight. Despite their disadvantages height-wise, they do move the ball really well, and they defend as a team really well.
Exactly, yeah. And they've been able to put the clamps on certain Ballarat players at times that might have really done some damage otherwise.
Oh, and Emmett Nah. Oh, just can't finish. Smart pump fake, but good contest from Pazoglu as Sapwell just looks to the heavens.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's finding much help up there tonight either. Every time he puts the ball in the air, it's, he's naught of 7 from the three-point line now, and might be time to put the cue in the rack when it comes to three-point shots for Cohen Sapwell.
Oh, another missed layup for the Miners.
Ringwood on the attack again.
Yeah,
Damn it, Nah.
Beautiful finish by Nah.
Adds another 2 points to his
Followed
tally.
up by a great pass from Gua. Now, just apologies to the listeners at home. We don't have our usual stats software, so we're doing it the long way. But just to give you an idea of the Miners' shooting percentage tonight, 6 from 26.
Yeah, from the three-point line. That's 23%. And to be honest, every now and then, if I got lucky, I could probably shoot that sort of clip. And I'm a washed-up old has-been that was never any good.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's just been the story. I mean, there's been a lot of things going wrong for the Miners tonight, but yeah, shooting like that is never going to win you many games.
Exactly. And look, and Ballarat's also gone 5 of 12 from the free throw line. You've left 7 basically gimme points out there on the floor, and when you're facing a 15-point margin with 5 points to go, you wish you had those 7 points now.
And you compare that to Ringwood, who are a much smaller side, who probably boast a lot more shooters. They've only taken 15 threes on the night. They've made 7 of them, but it just speaks to a game plan or a desire to actually get to the basket.
Exactly, and I think Ringwood have just taken what the defense gives them. Whatever comes to them, they'll take it. And more often than not, that's a pretty decent cut and a drive to the basket rather than settling for a three-point shot.
And is that another? That's the 5th foul.
I don't believe it.
Oh my God!
Deng Gak just got subbed back into the game and racked up his 5th foul.
I've never seen this happen. Is this a joke?
I think he must have only played about 8 minutes of game time.
I don't think it's been that much. I think it's been less than that.
unbelievable. He's fouled out in 8 minutes of game time. He's back on the bike at the end of the court, just trying to get in some cardio for the night.
How quickly he picked that up. Oh. And Bungie here going to work. Credit to him, he hasn't stopped trying, but hasn't been able to get it going as Miller drives to the basket, gets a roll.
Nice work from J.D. Miller.
23 points now for Miller. 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes left to play. 13 points the margin as Clark drives on Brooks, finds Gua. He turns the ball over. Fantastic quick outlet pass to Pazoglu, who finishes with authority.
Wow. And that's brought the crowd to their feet.
It has.
It's really do or die time now for Ballarat. Down 11, 4 minutes to go. You've got to make something happen right now.
Well, perhaps not coincidentally, it's happened while they've decided to give Emmett Nar a bit of a breather, who's immediately going to check back into the game.
Yeah, I'd be putting Emmett Nar back in now and riding that pony all the way to the finish line. He's not just what he does on the stat sheet. He's a great leader out there on the court for Ringwood as well. So I think he'll be getting subbed back in now, and you'll see him on the court for the rest of the night.
Emmett Nar, 18 points, 6 from 11 on the night to go along with 10 assists. I mean, the passing is, in a lot of ways, is where he's done the most damage tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's absolutely carved up Ballarat's defence with his passing. But because he's such a dangerous player, Ballarat have had to collapse. Every time he's driven into the paint, they've had to collapse. And as they do, he just finds the open man.
Well, not a lot to be excited about, unfortunately, for Ballarat tonight. But J.D. Miller, pretty solid game so far. 23 points, 9 of 14 from the field. Interesting lineup the Miners have gone with to finish this game.
Yeah.
With David Crisp, Amos Brooks, Nick Pazoglu, Preston Bungie and J.D. Miller.
Yeah.
I'd be Zach Dunmore, even Will Hines, maybe a little bit stiff not to be out there.
Yeah, I would have thought so. And I mean, the players that are on the floor now aren't the members of the five that were on the court when they came back from their deficits that they've had. So, yeah, I find this an interesting move. But like we said, it's do or die. You know, now they've got to make their run now. They can't leave it any longer. And this is the five that Luke Sunderland's gone with.
Oh, and the Ringwood bench up in arms. They could have sworn that ball went off Preston Miller's foot, but the Miners will retain possession.
J.D. Miller looking to get something going, and does. Knocks down a nice jump shot from the top of the key. Cuts that lead to 9, and Ballarat have got some belief that, hey, they can come back from here. Here's the man of the hour, Emmett Nar with the ball. Look how easy he gets into the paint.
Yeah.
And creates.
Well, he just had all the time in the world there, Roberts, didn't he?
Yeah, and that was all created by Emmett Nar's dribble penetration again. So
a dagger in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that makes it very hard from here now.
Preston Bunge's had one of his toughest nights. Oh, puts in a beautiful shot there.
Tough shot. Yeah, for his second field goal of the game. Like, that's a hard way to make a living.
Great elevation in the face of Gua. Emmett Nar with the ball at the top. You know, if there's one thing I could probably criticise the defence for tonight in terms of the Miners, in the way they've guarded Emmett Nar, they really have let him dictate what he wants to do, which I know it can be tough sometimes, because if you press up on him, he'll probably blow by you, but at least it's a proactive way of defending him.
Yeah, you know? Exactly
as
right.
opposed to a reactive way.
Yeah. Amos Brooks makes 2 and he's gone the line. Yeah, look, the way Emmett Nar's played tonight, I would rather, if I was Ballarat, I'd rather anybody from Ringwood try to beat me than him.
Yeah.
So, you know, you put all your efforts into getting the ball out of his hands and let somebody else try to beat you off the dribble.
Amos Brooks, I don't reckon he called bank on that.
Did he bank that?
He did.
He banked that free throw.
Finished the three-point play. Probably should have had a point deducted for it, but...
Thanks for open late in Ballarat tonight.
Here's Clark. Back up to Nah.
Yeah, two-man game with them at Nars. Worked very well tonight.
Doesn't use the pick. Straight to the basket. Can't finish. Oh, a lovely round the back move. Bungie again in the post. He'll look to go to work on Gua, and he does. Draws the contact.
Ooh.
And leaving the door slightly open. 2 free throws here. The clock stops. Potentially reduce the margin to 7.
Yeah, a lot of things need to go the way of Ballarat from here on in, but you know, this is a pretty good start. Get yourself to the free throw line, knock down a couple of easy ones, and you give yourself a sniff.
Preston Bungie missed at least one free throw tonight. Makes short work of that one.
No trouble with that one. If he makes this, it's back to 7 with 1:48 left on the clock.
Be interesting to see if we see a timeout from Ringwood if this ball goes down. We don't.
Ken Harrington's got faith in his charges to take care of business from here. He looks pretty relaxed on the bench, to be honest, Ken.
He's Nah.
Why not when you've got Emmett Nah out there?
He's Gua. Hasn't taken a shot for a little while, Gua. He finds Clark down low.
Likes that matchup. Kicks it out unselfishly again.
He does. Oh, and
there we go. And we've got
Daggett.
Daggett again with the dagger.
And look, that pass wasn't on point. He caught that as JD Miller with an answer.
Can't afford to trade baskets though, Ballarat. They need to get busy right now. 7 points down with 1:10 to go. Emmett Nah's going to use all of the 24-second clock here. Oh, that's a great dish by Emmett Nah. And the and one for Kyle Daggett.
Yeah.
Kyle Daggett's had himself a night out.
I mean, what do you say about that pass, though? You know, Nick Pozzoglu applying the pressure. He looked to seem to be running out of space, Emmett Nah, between the backcourt and the sideline, but through the legs, turned on the jets, went left. Thread the needle for the pass.
Yeah, Kyle Daggett's going to take Emmett Nah out for dinner. On the way home to Ringwood, I would imagine. Treat himself because he has received silver service from Emmett Nah all night long. Is that 18 points on the night for Kyle Daggett?
Yeah, really solid game for Daggett.
18 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. 4 of 4 from the free throw line. That's the sort of stuff that that Ballarat would really love on their side of the ledger. But, yeah, Kyle Daggett's had himself a night.
And more interestingly, not only is every single one of the Ringwood starters in double figures, but not a single basket from a bench player.
Yeah, the bench has just come out and given them some minutes, but hasn't really done that much impact on the scoreboard. So, yeah. Yeah, the combination of Matthew Snow, Jack Berry, Matthew Roberts, and Cade Fidelani have only combined for 0 points on the night for Ringwood. So they really rely heavily on those main guys, though. And why not? You know, they're 10 points up with a minute to go on a big road win in Ballarat.
They've certainly played well tonight. Kyle Daggett, 36 minutes. Tim Goers, 36 minutes. Emmett Nah, 35. Sean Clark, just the 21 minutes, but probably worked the hardest in those 21 minutes out of any player on the court.
Absolutely. I've been really impressed with Sean Clark's game tonight. 10 points, 6 boards. He's done all the dirty work for them.
1 minute, and that pass picked off by Nah there, who
pretty much sums up Ballarat's night, doesn't it?
Will go to the free throw line, and it does too.
You know, just trying to do something simple, pass the ball in the court, go across court, and it gets picked off.
And credit to most of the crowd who seem to be staying in their seats.
So, yeah, it's there's a couple of them starting to make their way to the exit now, with Emmett Nah putting this game away.
And easily, calmly knocks down the first to bring his tally up to 19, who I'll be backing him to finish with 20 and 13 after this second free throw, and looks like he's going to do just that.
Yep, and it looks like Ballarat are clearing the benches. Lucas Impey seeing his first minutes tonight. Zach Dunmore to check in as well. And Jordan Lingard.
Yeah, look, he'll be furious with this match. Luke Sunderland
Rightfully so. By no stretch of the imagination did we expect the Ringwood to basically lead by double digits all night.
Yeah, it's one thing to get beaten, but it's just been the energy from Ballarat which has been concerning tonight.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Amos Brooks.
A little bit of hustle from Amos Brooks late in the game, and, this is what Ballarat needed right from the start.
His second chance for his second and one of the night. But no, look, just back on the energy there. Yeah, just just from the get-go, the Miners have just looked sluggish tonight. They've just looked disconnected.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Whereas, on the flip side of that, Ringwood have looked really connected, really gelled together. And that's been the difference tonight. It hasn't been anything, nothing to do with physical attributes or, training that they've done during the week. No. It's just been that Ringwood gel as a team and play together really well, and Ballarat just didn't have that chemistry tonight.
Ringwood look like they've been playing together for a number of years. Well, we know they haven't been. But,
exactly.
But that's just been the difference tonight.
Yep. And to be honest, take this as you will, the Miners starting five really came out flat as a pancake and set the tone for the rest of their team. So I wouldn't be blaming the guys that were sitting on the bench at the start of the game. It's really got to land on the stars of the Miners that didn't come out and get the business done.
I think a few people would agree with you about that, as Gua, who's been one of the stars tonight, will run the clock out, and Ringwood will celebrate a really solid victory.
Yeah, that's a top win for Ringwood on the road to come to Ballarat tonight and knock off the second team on the ladder, and more importantly, I guess that'll put the two teams on the same amount of losses for the season. So, Ringwood can take a lot from this game and really start to launch the rest of their season from this.
Yeah, look, this is a pretty bad loss for Ballarat in a lot of ways. They've now lost two of their last three matches. But like you mentioned, although they were second on the ladder, they were 2 games ahead of a lot of teams in this competition.
Yep.
So I think we're going to see them slide a little bit in the next couple of weeks, regardless if they can, win maybe one out of the next 2. But
they need to stop the rot and stop it now before this season starts to really sort of slip away.
Yeah, but definitely some stuff to work on at training this week, and it starts with just the energy they brought tonight.
That's right.
It's definitely got to change. That being said, though, Ringwood, like we mentioned, Emmett Nair, Tim Goers, 20 points. Kyle Daggett leading all scorers with 24, and backed up by Sean Clark with 10 and Jack Roberts 11.
Jack Roberts played some nice minutes tonight. He just did what he needed to do. He's 3 or 4 from the 3-point line. He knocked down the shots when he needed to, and he just played his role, which everybody at Ringwood did tonight.
Well, there's a number of players who we could give man of the match to. We're not going to mention any of the Miners players. I don't think anyone really deserves it.
Yeah, look, once you've had a 10-point loss like that with such flat energy, I mean, the only one that would even be in the conversation would be J.D. Miller.
Yeah.
But I think we're pretty set on who our player of the game is.
I think we are too. But let's for the sake, let's just try and make it a little bit interesting. You could make a case for Tim Goers, just given the impact of a lot of his shots.
Yep,
there were a few daggers in there. Kyle Daggett obviously just led all scorers with 24, 8 from 14, great percentage. Was the do-it-all man for them in some ways.
Yeah.
The glue guy, I should say. But no, look, you really can't look past Emmett Nair, can you?
Well, Timmy Goers and Kyle Daggett benefited a lot from the work that Emmett Nair did, and to be honest, he was the reason why they got those big leads, and he was the reason why Ballarat came back. When he went to the bench, that's when Ballarat made their run. So, no doubt Emmett Nair is our player of the game.
13 assists to go along with 20 points, and brought back some great memories I had of him playing in Ballarat last season, and regrettable that he couldn't come back this year. But
all credit to Ringwood, and they'll travel back down the Western Highway tonight, feeling pretty good about themselves, I would imagine.
Well, Mark, it's been a pleasure tonight. First time calling a game with you, but it's been good fun. It's a shame the Miners couldn't get up, but no, it's been awesome.
Excellent. Well, thanks for having me, and hopefully Jared Prosser will be fit and healthy, ready for next week.
And good night to the viewers at home.
Pretty solid effort from yourself tonight. 10 points, 8 rebounds. You've been working hard through.